Hey guys, Jason here, taking a look at our coronavirus names. An interesting day in the market for a couple of reasons. First of all, the overall market via the S&P did very well today. And as a result, we see some inverse correlation in some of our coronavirus names. But the real key, and what was really interesting to me, was that today we saw a news release saying California records its first coronavirus death. And we saw really complete lack of reaction in the market. And what that tells me is that that creeping normality that we've discussed in some of our videos, the fact that people are going to be dying in the United States, that the virus is spreading, and that we're still seeing bad news, it's now normal to be getting bad news, and it's now unfortunately normal for us to see these headlines. So as soon as it becomes normal, it stops having that immediate and volatile impact on the market. So in order for something to really impact the market in the short term, it's going to have to be substantially greater than one or two people getting sick and dying, unfortunately. But as it relates to our markets, we're now seeing that creeping normality come into play, and we got to keep an eye on that as we move forward. So like I said, pretty strong day in the market, and we're going to be looking at APT first of all. So APT on the daily time frame, we saw a strong start to the day, our high of 1997. So we're going to be paying attention to 20 psychological as a major resistance on the daily. We still held EMA 8. So not a real lot of clarity so far, and we're getting into trends and counter trends, and really it's how do I explain what I'm trying to say right now? You know, when you throw a rock in water, there's a big wave, and that wave causes a smaller wave, and then they interact, and there's this constant reverberation down to the smallest infinitesimal wave. Everything is related, and that's what we see in the markets as well. So we see a big move to one side, a smaller move, There's going to be counter trends and micro trends and tiny little reverberations that happen inside all of this price action. And right now on the daily time frame, we can see that resulting in a little bit of lack of clarity. So a big couple of red days, we get a green day, now we get a red day, we see some fighting inside this daily candlestick. We'll take a look at it, but just keep in mind, we're still in this area of price discovery. We're trying to chart out something that makes a lot of sense for us on the daily time frame. We're not seeing that clarity. Closed at 8 or 16 psychological, rejection from 20 psych. On the 4-hour time frame, we are still in a 4-hour downtrend until we establish a higher low, and I don't like this higher low over 1261 as a definitive higher low. We are going to be in that hourly downtrend, so we need to see that still hold 1261, establish a higher low. On the hourly time frame, we are in a definitive downtrend at this point. Lower highs, lower lows. We're going to keep grinding this 15-minute downtrend until that story changes. Here's that 15. Great that we set a higher high, but we didn't really do much outside of that high. Sure, we set a higher low, got into an EQ, broke bear, and now we are back underneath our EMA 12 as we have been for most of the day, grinding that price lower. Bulls need to hold over 1551 tomorrow if they're going to maintain any sort of hope of changing this trend. But right now, we're pretty bearish, at least in our 15 or hourly, our 4-hour time frames, with our daily not giving us a lot of clarity. LAKE on the daily time frame, another relatively weak day. We have low of day support. It's just coincidence at whatever level I have marked off here. We'll see. We'll take a look at why I marked this. I don't recall that from my last video, but it seems to be our low. It's 1620, so we're 3 cents away from whatever that support happened to be. An inside bar, so that's useful for tomorrow. A real lack of clarity on the daily time frame as well. On the 4-hour, we are looking for continuation of this 4-hour downtrend. Here's our lower lows, lower highs. Now we need to see a break of 1530. Looks like bears are in control of the 4-hour and the hourly right now. And whatever this level was happens to be from when? When does this level come into play, and why have I marked it down? That is a question that's going to bother me. I guess the low of the early morning seems to have acted as a double bottom. You know what? Let's not pay any attention to that. Let's call that coincidence. On the hourly time frame, we are seeing bears currently in control of the hourly, looking for support over 1566. That is going to be a key level because it acted as a support on the 26th, the 2nd, and possibly tomorrow. 15-minute time frame is for the bears as well. IAN is not a ticker that we want to look at, but we do want to look at VIR. So VIR on the daily time frame, a little bit stronger of a name, so that is good. We can see that we have that $47 acting as a area of resistance for us. We just peaked over top of it and decided to come back down. So this is still one of the better charts, at least compared to those other charts that we've looked at. Still oscillating in this range, so we need to see a breakout in either direction to give us a little bit of clarity. On the 4-hour time frame, we're still in a 4-hour downtrend. Bulls are a little bit healthier here, maybe an hourly counter trend, but we still need to establish a higher low over 36.08. It's very possible that this is our higher low, but we can't consider that to be locked in until we get a new high. So right now we're still in a 4-hour downtrend with our hourly bulls trying to do something as well. Here's our hourly uptrend. We lose hourly higher lows, we consolidate, and now we have set an hourly higher low here at 41.52. Bulls have a long way to go before they can get a new high over $50 psychological. 15-minute time frame, 15-minute downtrend. There's that low. Change the 15-minute trend and you've locked in that hourly low. Let's go check out CODX. Usually I have all my charts prepared. CODX opened relatively close to where we had our levels yesterday. So from our low of day 1365, we see a lower open. Bulls initially had a little bit of strength, pushed back, and now we're seeing a movement toward a very important level at $11 psychological. If we have this momentum going into tomorrow, it's likely that we would test that. If we see any market weakness, of course, there'll be an inverse correlation. But on the 4-hour time frame, we are not in equilibrium. We are simply looking at a strong hourly downtrend as we head straight toward that $11 psychological level. Not a lot of clarity on the 4-hour either. And on the hourly time frame, this is where we're seeing that clarity come into play. Lower highs, consistent lower lows, currently struggling. If we look to the 15-minute time frame, we can see that we are chopping sideways, still being held down by our EMA 12. If we lose our key support right now, which appears to be a double bottom in the area of 1150, so that is a 15-minute double bottom. If we reject from EMA 12 again and lose 1150, it's very likely we're going to test 11 psychological. If bulls can maintain a higher low over 1150 and break above our EMA 26 and EMA 12, they may change the short-term trajectory, but there's a long way to go to change the hourly time frame. So looking relatively bearish on CODX anywhere except, actually anywhere. CODX looking bearish at this point. Bulls need to hold $11 psychological. Last ticker we want to look at is NVAX. NVAX on the daily, looks like we had, where are we? A stronger play today, possibly one of the better ones in our coronavirus portfolio. 992 was yesterday's low of day. We opened a little bit lower than our close, but bulls saw a lot of momentum. So let's go right to the 15-minute time frame because I want to see what happened there. So here we are, 15-minute time frame. We chop around, we establish some pre-market levels. So we have our pre-market high. We're going to focus on pre-market, not yesterday afternoon, 1077, and then we have a pre-market low of $10.10. The market opens and does not give up that pre-market level. That's pretty critical. And the fact that we see that hold, we see the volume pull in, there is a minor bearish attack, but bulls take it away. Big volume. We reject initially from 1077, establish EMA 26 as support, consistently hold support, break over 1077, and once we break over that 1077 level, the volume really pours in. So use your pre-market initial ranges, look for your areas of support. This is a pretty impressive area of support in the 2-minute time frame. The fact that we didn't break it, and the fact that we get a consistent 5-minute higher lows. Let's go back right to that day. Here we are. 5-minute higher lows, looking beautiful, holding EMA 26, and then just a quick rocket ship. Beautiful trade of the day. Otherwise, a 5-minute downtrend for the majority of the afternoon, and that's where we get our big upper wick. So what are we going to look for tomorrow on NVAX? Well, if bulls want to maintain this, what they're going to have to do is establish a, let's see, is it look better on the 4-hour? No, I'm going to go back to the hourly. We need to establish an hourly higher low. This is our hourly consolidation. Bulls can go all the way down to 1010 before they can find that hourly higher low. But the optimistic bulls are going to need to hold EMA 26 and 12 right about here. If we can establish a good base of support in our after hours and our pre-market, something above $11 and 1106 is our key support. If we can do that and see a positive in volume validated 15-minute trend change, we have a good candidate for an hourly higher low. Now that will require all of what I just said. It's going to require some weakness in the market or some fear related inputs from the media. But I guess as far as the charts go, NVAX is the strongest looking name in the coronavirus area. Anyway, that is it for today, my friends. I hope you had a wonderful trading day. I hope your positions are protected and you're ready for any scenarios, and that you have a plan for everything that you're trading, because that's what technical analysis is all about. Thank you so much. Have a good day.